The year is 2011. At the time, I was only 6 years old and had just started first grade. At some point in early September the year previous, I took interest in a certain popular video game franchise that a lot of my peers had also taken interest in at the time. On the 6th of March, I received a late birthday gift, one that I had wanted for months. I remember that day vividly. My mom, with a smile on her face, walked into my room holding a flat, square-shaped box covered neatly in wrapping paper topped with a bow, and placed it into the palms of my hands. Inside was a game that unironically shaped me to be the person that I am now. This is that game. It has been 15 years since Pokémon Black and White were released all the way back on the day of this upload in 2011, and what better game to play as my first real video on my channel than a playthrough of Black and White. Let me tell you, it has been an exhausting 2 months. This video has been a long time coming. Ever since the beginning of last year, I wanted to make this video, but kept putting it off over and over and over again. And now, here we are. I've wanted to upload a lot of videos in the past before this, but of course, my perfectionism had to get in the way, and I felt like it just wasn't right not having a Let's Play of this be my first video. My name is Sacred Sword, and this is my Pokémon Black and White playthrough. Hi there! Welcome to the world of Pokémon! My name is Professor Juniper. Everyone calls me the Pokémon Professor. That's right, this world is widely inhabited by the mysterious creatures called Pokémon. Pokémon have mysterious powers, they come in many shapes, and live in many different places. We humans live happily with Pokémon, living and working together. We complement each other. We help each other to accomplish difficult tasks. Having Pokémon battle one another is particularly popular, and it deepens the bonds between people and Pokémon. And that is why I research Pokémon. Well, that's enough about me. Could you tell me about yourself? Are you a boy or a girl? Well, obviously. You're a boy, right? No shit. I'd like to know your name. Please tell me. My username is 11 characters long, but there's a 7-character limit, so this is just the nickname I usually go with. So your name is Sacred S. Yes. So your name's Sacred S. What a wonderful name. I'm not going to refer to myself as Sacred S during this entire playthrough. I'm just going to say Sacred Sword. Well then, I'm going to introduce you to your 2 best friends. This young man is Charon. He can be a little difficult, but he's a very honest person. This young woman is Bianca. She's a little flighty, but she works very hard. I think you 3 have potential, so I'm going to give you a very, very important Pokemon. Sacred Sword. The moment you choose the Pokemon that will accompany you on your journey, your story will truly begin. During your journey, you will meet many Pokemon and people with different personalities and points of view. I really hope you find what is important to you in all these travels. That's right. Befriend new people and Pokemon, and grow as a person. That is the most important goal for your journey. Let's go visit the world of Pokemon. Sacred Sword! I heard from Professor Juniper we can have a Pokemon? It's keeping Bianca. Am I a little late again? Sorry. Bianca, I've known for 10 years that you have no sense of time, but seriously, today's the day we can get a Pokemon from Professor Juniper. I know, sorry Sacred Sword, sorry Charon. So where are the Pokemon? They were delivered to Sacred Sword's house, so Sacred Sword gets first pick. Naturally. The Pokemon are waiting for us inside that gift box. Okay, Sacred Sword, you go first and take a peek at the gift box. I want to meet the Pokemon right now. Okay, so before then, gotta set the text to fast and the battle style to set. Perfect. And save. This is gonna be important for what I'm about to do. So, let's open the gift box. I've brought 3 Pokemon, one for you and one for each of your friends. Please settle your choices politely. Enjoy your Pokemon. Finally, we get to pick our starter. This is the Unova Starter Trio. One of these 3 Pokemon are going to accompany us throughout our entire journey. The Unova Starter Trio is not as bad as people say, but it is still not very good. Well, only 2 of them aren't very good, but we'll talk about them from best to worst. Tepig is first, and is hands down the best Unova starter. Do not let Tepig's detractors fool you. This Pokemon is insanely good and horrifically underrated. Tepig is a fire type that evolves into Pignite at level 17 and to Emboar, a fire fighting type at level 36. It should be noted that all the starters evolve at the same levels, so unlike in say the Johto or Sinnoh games, there's no differing evolution levels to give the starters an edge over another. Although it should be noted that Emboar is the only Unova starter with a dual typing and a good one at that. Just like I said before, don't let Emboar's detractors fool you. It's true that Emboar as of Gen 5 was the 3rd firefighting type in a row, with the 2 generations previous also featuring firefighting type starters, but what people tend to leave out is that type is still incredible for in-game playthroughs, and Unova is no exception. Not like Emboar really needs either of those things, because unlike the other starters, Emboar actually gets good stats. 65 speed is pitiful, and 65 in both defense and special defense is also pretty bad, but Emboar largely makes up for it with 110 base HP, 123 base attack, and 100 special attack. By all means, these stats are fairly above average, so why am I glazing Emboar so much? The move pool. Emboar has a ridiculous move pool, and it's exactly why I think Emboar is so good, and in my opinion, can unironically stack up to the other firefighting types in terms of strength in a playthrough. Hell, I'd argue it might even be better than the firefighters of the last 2 gens. That's how good this move pool is. Flame Charge to mitigate his speed problem, Flare Blitz and Hammer Arm for some hard-hitting stab, Assurance for dark coverage, Head Smash for rock coverage, and that's just the physical attacks in his level up learn set. It gets even more insane when you look at what special attacking moves he learns and the rest of the moves he gets from TMs and move tutors. Curse, Brick Break, Overheat, Iron Head, Thunder Punch, Wild Charge, Rock Slide, Earthquake, Stone It. You know Emboar can learn Scald? That's right, the best water-type move in the game that was introduced in Gen 5. The Fire-type starter can learn that. 15 years ago, that blew my 7-year-old impressionable mind away, and that still rings true to this day. Emboar is insane, and I love him. Oshawott is, of course, up next. Oshawott is a pure water type that evolves from Duat at level 17 and Samurott at level 36. Samurott highly benefits from being a water type thanks to Univa's distinct lack of decent water type options. That is pretty much the only thing going for it, since its stats are mediocre, and by contrast to Emboar, Samurott's move pool is even worse. 95 base HP, 100 physical attack, and 108 special attack aren't bad, but not good either, and those are his best stats. Defense, special defense, and speed are all in the yellow, being 85, 70, and 70 respectively. Just like Emboar, don't expect to outspeed anything. Emboar can tank things better to actually get some good hits in, but if you pick Samurott, you're going to have to first pray you'll manage to either outspeed or tank a hit, and then pray again that you'll one-hit KO. If you do end up picking Samurott, I highly recommend a physical attacking build. His special attack is higher, but the only good special moves Samurott gets normally are Surf and Ice Beam, which every water starter gets, Scald as some alternative stab, Grass Knot, and that's it. I'm not kidding. Look up Samurott's Gen 5 learn set. His move pool is genuinely terrible. His physical attacking moves, on the other hand, are fine. Razor Shell early on level up, you'll get Waterfall later in the game, but it's not a required HM for the game. You actually have to really go out of your way to grab it. That is, unless you want to run Aqua Tail for extra power. Aqua Jet for priority, Swords Dance is good setup, and X Scissor, Aerial Ace, Retaliate, and Dragon Tail are all also available via TM. He surprisingly also gets Mega Horn via a move relearner, but you'll need a heart scale. Samurott isn't awful by any means, but a far cry from the water starters of previous generations. Even though Samurott already got a Hisuian form in Legends Arceus, if there's any Pokemon I hope gets a Mega, it's Samurott. If you couldn't tell, I like swords. I like sword Pokemon, sword-wielding Pokemon, or even just sword-adjacent Pokemon. And it's funny, because Unova, for a region based on America, has a large amount of those. Samurott being kind of not one of them, even though he's basically a samurai mixed with a sea otter. What I'm trying to say here is that Samurott is very underwhelming design-wise, and I hope that gets fixed someday, because I do see potential. I'd say if you're going to choose Oshawott, only do it if the other water-type options in Unova don't really interest you. Even if one of them just slightly speaks to you, go with that one, not Samurott. You'll thank me later. Again, Oshawott isn't bad, but a far cry of water starters from previous generations. Last and definitely least is Snivy. Snivy is one of the worst starters of all time, at least for in-game playthroughs. Only really beaten out by Chikorita for the title of the worst starter Pokemon of all time, and I am not kidding. Snivy is a pure grass type, and to its detriment stays a pure grass type. It also evolves into Servine at level 17, and Serperior at level 36. Terrible offensive stats, 75 in both attack and special attack, okay at best defensive stats with 75 base HP and 95 in both defense and special defense, and 113 speed. To quote mildly successful fellow PokeTuber, Imported Cheese, you have incredible speed, so you outspeed everything. And then what? Serperior tries to be a defensive mono grass type, an archetype that just never works, and for good reason. Mono grass just has too many common weaknesses, especially for early game, to justify using it. As a final nail in the coffin, Serperior doesn't even have a good move pool to save it. Serperior is just never worth picking. Ever. I think it speaks volumes that if you just pick Tepig, you'll get an infinitely better early grass type before the first gym in Pansage. If not, you can still find Pansage and another better grass type in Suwaddle as early as Pinwheel Forest. The only good thing about Serperior is that it's pretty good in competitive play thanks to its ability Contrary.
Contrary Superior is actually pretty fun to use. Too bad it's a hidden ability, and unfortunately for Superior, it and the other Unova starters are some of the very few Pokemon in Gen 5 who didn't have their hidden abilities released until later generations. So you don't even have the option of swapping out Snivy with a better Snivy. Superior specifically having the only hidden ability of the 3 starters that is incredibly useful and would be most applicable in a playthrough. Hopefully the next Legends game will have her in the starter trio, or an upcoming game will finally give her a buff or two, because all Superior really needs are some small offensive buffs to actually give it a purpose. You don't even have to give Superior a regional form or a Mega Evolution. Regardless, in Black and White, Superior, of course, has none of that, which is exactly why it stays in the trash. Poor bastard didn't even get a chance. I'm really starting this playthrough super positively, aren't I? Now, after all the shit talking about Snivy, and all this talk about how mid Oshawott is, you'd think, after all the glazing of Tepig, I picked Tepig, right? Maybe in Pokemon White, but I need a water type. Okay, I'll take this Pokemon. Charon, that one's yours. How come you get to pick out my Pokemon? Oh, never mind. I wanted Snivy from the start anyway. Everyone has chosen a Pokemon, so that's that. Hey, I know. Let's have a Pokemon battle. Honestly, Bianca, even though they're still weak Pokemon, you shouldn't have Pokemon battles inside a house. Don't be a worrywart. These little ones are weak, like you said. We have to let them battle so they get stronger. It's settled, Sacred Sword. Get ready for a Pokemon battle. Now, something the Pokemon games are not really, hand-holdy about, I guess, is that, the moves like Tail Whip, Growl, and Leer, which is really unfortunate because that's kind of like one of the basics of Pokemon. But if we do use Tail Whip here, it'll lower Tepig's physical defense, and now it'll be much easier to knock out. Like, watch, this used to be like a 4 or 5 hit KO. That's a 3-hit KO there. Oh shit, he used Tail Whip on me. Eek! Ouch, I won't let you get away with that. Oh! Oh my god, the crit! Let's go! Player defeated, Trainer Bianca. Pokemon on both sides did their best. Wow. Sacred Sword, you're gonna be an awesome trainer someday, I can tell, no doubt. Bianca, would you take a look around? Whoa, what happened? Wow, Pokemon are amazing. So little but so strong. I'm so glad to get to have a Pokemon. Sorry about your room, Sacred Sword. You are completely hopeless. Here, I'll restore your Pokemon for you. Sacred Sword's Pokemon needs to be fixed up too. Hey Charon, how about you battle too? With all you know, I'm sure you can battle without turning the room into a disaster area like I did. I believe you're right. It'll be no problem for me to keep the room from getting any messier. Besides, it's not fair if you two are the only ones who get to have fun battling. It's decided. You'll be my opponent in our first Pokemon battle. Let's see what you can do, Snivy. So remember how I said Snivy is a defensive Pokemon? Well, you're about to see something in a minute. Tail Whip, lower that defense. And 3-hit KO, just like Tepig. Alright, I finally become a trainer. Everything starts from here. Defensive Pokemon, my ass. Ah, so that's a Pokemon battle. I've made a strange blunder in my first battle, but this feeling I have, I'm finally a trainer. But first, we better go apologize to your mother about this messed up room. Oh, I better come too. Okay, so there is a reason why I saved the game in the first place. Let's check. Oh, I do not want to sim in nature. So yeah, that is a reset. So the thing is, I am looking for a adamant Oshawott, or anything that boosts attack, really. So I am going to reset here, and I will come back when I get a adamant. Alright, so after a little bit of soft resetting, I finally managed to get the Oshawott. Let's go! Alright, now let's go downstairs. I'm very sorry about all the trouble, ma'am. Well, we can clean up. Clean up? No worries, I'll take care of it later. Shouldn't you be on your way to meet Professor Juniper? Yes, thank you. Please excuse us. Come on, let's go thank Professor Juniper. I'll be waiting for you in front of the Pokémon Research Lab. Oh wait, I gotta go home first. Thanks for having us over. My, Sacred Sword. Pokemon battles are so lively, aren't they? I can hear the Pokemon's cries clear down here. That sure reminded me of my first Pokemon battle. Oh, and you know, after a battle, you need to rest your Pokemon. Your Pokemon is looking great. Now, if you're going out, don't forget your Cross Transceiver. Sacred Sword obtained the Cross Transceiver. You're going to thank the, Professor too, right? Better get going, honey. Sprite animations in this game are so freaking cool. No, 1,000 times no. But I'm a good trainer who's got a Pokemon and everything. I can totally go on an adventure. Oh, it's okay. It's fine. I'll be waiting for you in front of the lab, okay? What nonsense is this? How could my daughter, who knows nothing about the world, be going on a journey with Pokemon? Don't mind my husband, dear. He's just being overprotective. All children go on adventures with Pokemon. It's part of growing up. Alright, might as well meet back with Charon. Okay, let's go meet the professor. Hi there, I've been waiting for you young people. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Professor Juniper. We know your name. Come, Charon. This is not a time to take things lightly. Today's a day to remember always, so it's best to behave with some formality. That being so, once again, my name is Professor Juniper, and I am researching when and how the creatures called Pokémon came into existence. Oh, that's unusual. You've already had a Pokémon battle, so maybe that's why it feels as though your Pokémon have already begun to trust you. By the way, would you like to give your Pokémon a nickname? Yes, let's do this. So I have been thinking about a nickname for a little while I was soft resetting, and I don't really know what other nickname I can really give Samurott, so I'm just gonna go with Shellgun. Uh-huh, I see. Are you okay with the nickname Shellgun? Yes. Shellgun is its name. That's such a great name. As for why I gave you all Pokemon, it's for the Pokédex, right? Pokédex? I am astonished. Nice work, Charon. You've already studied Pokemon extensively, haven't you? Still, let me explain everything from the beginning for everyone's sake. The Pokédex is a high-tech device that automatically records the Pokemon you encounter. So I want you three to visit many places and meet all of the Pokemon in the Unova region. This is my request. Sacred Sword, Charon, Bianca, you'll go on an adventure to complete the Pokédex, will you not? Yes. Okay, yes, Professor. Thank you very much. Because of you, I can become a Pokemon trainer exactly as I've always wished. Because of you, I can become a Pokemon trainer exactly as I've always wished. All of you, thanks. You've given me the best possible answer. Sacred Sword obtained the Pokédex. Next, I need to teach you how to meet Pokemon. Please meet me at Route 1, okay? Since the professor asked us, it's okay to go on an adventure, right? And explore and maybe find out what I want to do in life. I think I'd like that. Of course. We can travel however we want while we complete the Pokédex. Hey, Sacred Sword, wait up! Oh, there you are. And? What did the professor have to say? She asked you to complete the Pokédex? I can't believe it. Well, actually I can. I already knew she was going to ask. That's why I brought 3 of you these town maps. Take them with you. Here you are, Charon. I'll take good care of it. And one for you too, Bianca. Thank you so much. As for your room, Sacred Sword, or what's left of it, no need to worry. Okay, Sacred Sword? Ah, Pokemon. They're so cute, but they have enough power to destroy a bedroom. They're really something. With Pokemon like that at your side, you'll be safe wherever you go. I'll let your parents know. I hope that in addition to Pokemon, you'll find lots and lots of places you'll like in the Unova region, and become wonderful adults. Have a great trip. If I use the town map, I'll always know where I am. That's certainly helpful. No shit, that's how a map works. Shall we head to Route 1? The professor's waiting. Let's go, let's go. Sacred Sword, hurry and come too, okay? Alright, so there's nothing else to do in Unova Town. Nuvema Town, so might as well advance the story. Sacred Sword, it's this way. Bianca says if we're starting a journey together, she wants us all to take our first step at the same time. Hey, Sacred Sword, let's all take our first step on Route 1 together. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. Oh, I wonder what will happen. Isn't this so exciting? It sure is. Come on, the professor's waiting. Professor Juniper, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. Now that everyone's here, I'll explain. The Pokédex's pages update automatically whenever you meet a Pokémon. Moreover, it's set up so that you obtain even more information when you catch a Pokémon. To make this clear, I'm going to demonstrate how to catch a Pokémon. Did you see that just now? Here's how it goes, step by step. First, reduce the Pokemon I saw with my eyes. Pokemon that still have all their energy are difficult to catch. If you can, use your Pokemon's moves to make the Pokemon you want to catch fall asleep or paralyze it. And to wrap this up in the best way, I have a gift for you. Some Pokeballs. Pokeballs are used for catching Pokemon and for carrying the Pokemon you catch. I'm going on ahead. I'll be waiting for you at Accumula Town. She forgot to say that Pokemon jump out at you in the tall grass. I'm heading to Accumula Town, too. I think I'll go, too. I'm looking forward to the next town so I can go shopping for Pokeballs. Wait a minute. Hey, listen, Sacred Sword, Charon, I thought of something fun. But we need to get going. I'd imagine the professor's waiting, too. Wouldn't you just listen a sec? Seriously. Why don't we see who can catch the most Pokemon? The person carrying the most Pokemon, including the one we received from Professor Juniper, is the winner. Huh. Actually, that sounds interesting. It'll fill up the Pokédex pages, so I'm sure it'll please the professor, too. Okay then, until we reach Accumula Town, take care of healing our Pokemon at your own house. Me and Tepig will do the best for sure. Alright, so while we're on Route 1, we might as well talk about one of the Pokemon you can find here. This is Patrat. Patrat is a pure normal type that evolves into Watchog at level 20. Something that a lot of people don't know about Gen 5 is that a lot of the new Pokemon of the generation are heavily based on Pokemon of previous generations. Patrat and Watchog being heavily based on Rattata and Raticate. And it is just as useful as them, if not worse. Raticate at least has 97 speed and 81 attack. Meanwhile, Watchog is 85 attack and 77 speed. This thing can barely manage to outspeed a Garbodor. How? How do you make a Raticate copy worse than Raticate? Who, by the way, is also in this game, albeit in the post-game. I could honestly rant all day about Watchog's stats and how much of a fuck-up this Pokemon is, everything-wise, but you can already probably see the problem on screen. Not a single stat goes above yellow. Now, to be fair, Watchog is very accessible and is actually a pretty good Pokemon you can use for specifically catching. But even that's ruined, because not only are Shroomish and Breloom Pokemon who are also very popular mons used for catching in this game, but even Smeargle, the #1 catching Pokemon, is in the game too. Albeit all of them are in the post-game, but still, it really goes to show how much of a waste of space and potential Watchog really is. And I'm not exaggerating either. If you picked up a Patrat with the ability Runaway and decided to use it, good luck, because it'll be hurting your team more than it will help you, as upon evolution, that ability turns into Illuminate, which makes wild encounters much more frequent. Now, To be fair to Watchog, I suppose that does give it an edge over the other catching Pokemon, as I mentioned, at least for things like shiny hunting. Now, I will admit, I was being a little harsh with Snivy, but I think it speaks volumes when I say that I don't think a single person will unironically go to defend Watchog. People like Snivy. People hate this Pokemon. I mentioned imported cheese before, and in his Pokemon Black and White in-game tier list, the Premium Edit, which you should check out, it's a great video, I was in that live chat when it premiered 3 years ago. You can even just barely see my profile picture in there amongst the awful resolution, unless you watch the original stream. And I was there when he put Patrat into the same tier as Snivy. Everyone in the chat bullied him until he put Patrat in C tier.
We're starting with some of the early game filler. It is Patrat. There's basically nothing exceptional about this. It's watching you, and it's watching me put it at the very bottom of B. Does it evolve early? Yeah, I believe it evolves pretty early. I can check right here. You think you should be able to see it here? It evolves at level 20, yeah. I think that's pretty early. It's not a D, guys. To be in D, you gotta be, like, useless. Does anybody have any words in Watchog's defense? I don't think so. If anything, people are, like, trying to get it lower. It's C for sure. Wow, people really hate Patrat and Watchog. Oh my goodness, people want this thing in C. It's worse than useless because it costs 300 Poké dollars to catch.
Holy fuck, I'm coming.
Get the pig out of S? Get this guy out of chat. What are you talking about? Patrat shouldn't be in B. Man, people hate Patrat. What? Good lord, people hate Patrat and Liepard being so high. Patrat is trash rat, my goodness. Alright, how about this, guys? Alright, Patrat and Liepard are up for review. We might move them down later, okay? But for now, we'll put them in very low B, okay? This chat is getting heated! Oh my goodness, like look at all this Patrat C tier. Scald the rat? Oh my goodness. Such discussion about Patrat. Oh my god. We have the power to poll! We can poll! We'll just do a poll, there we go. We'll poll for the people. Should Patrat be in B or C? And if Patrat goes to C, then Purloin's also going to C, because they're basically in the same tier, I think. 74 votes already. Wait, how many people are watching this? 173. Oh my goodness, people are here to talk about Gen 5. This is my most successful live stream ever. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And I guess for letting your thoughts be known about Patrat. We'll talk about Muna to give you guys some time to debate, and then we'll go ahead and see what the total is.
Lois,
Okay, I think let's see what the poll results are for Patrat. We've got 165 votes. The people, they want to let their thoughts be known about Patrat. 56% in C, wow. Okay, well, it was close, but I guess it's going to C. I hope you guys are happy. Was democracy a mistake? What a Tyranitar. But I'll listen to the people. Okay, there you go. Congratulations, Chad, you won.
You're damn right we won imported cheese. You're damn right. And for this reason alone, and to continue the legacy of the low tier rat, we are naming this Patrat D tier. Bring him down. Make him lower. So while we're still on Route 1, I might as well elaborate on why exactly I picked Oshawott. I've made it pretty obvious that Tepig is the best starter for playthroughs, but unfortunately Unova has a pretty distinct lack of good water-type options. It's not nearly as bad as Sinnoh with fire types, but it's still pretty bad. Keldeo is event only, Swanna, Basculin, Caracosta, and Alola are either all meh or trash, and the only usable ones are Jellicent, Simipour, and Seismitoad. Jellicent isn't all that bad, but for a level 40 evolution, its stats are very good. Simipour, alongside all the elemental monkeys, are pretty underrated. They all evolve pretty early, and Simipour specifically has the benefit of being the only water-type option in the game that's actually usable and has decent speed. Basculin is the other, and while Basculin surprisingly isn't that bad, it's way too frail for its adaptability to carry it. Too bad Simipour stats are mixed attacking, otherwise it wouldn't be beaten out by Seismitoad. who is unfortunately the best water type in this game. The only reason why I'm not going to pick it up is because, well, obviously, I already have a water type, but the main reason is because its offensive stats are slightly worse than Samurot's. I only really want to pick my favorite Unova Pokemon to be on my team, and I do like Seismitoad, but he's far from my favorites. Trust me, I've already got my team planned out from the beginning of this playthrough. A lot of Pokemon just didn't make the cut for one reason or another. There are a few other reasons as to why exactly I picked Samurott, but we'll get there eventually. How about it, Sacred Sword? Do you want to compare which one of us has the most Pokemon with them? Yes. Wow, 3? That's awesome! Are you excited to have that many Pokemon with you? Incidentally, if you check your Pokedex, you'll see how many Pokemon you found and how many you've caught. I'm off to Accumula Town. The professor is waiting. Hello, how is everybody doing? You and your Pokemon are getting along great now, right? Oh, Professor. Right now I'm in front of the Accumula Town's Pokemon Center. I'd like to show you around, so hurry on over, everybody. Okay, the Pokemon Center, right? Okay, see ya. Well, I'm going on ahead. Ah, Sacred Sword, there you are. Traveling with your Pokemon is truly one of the joys of being a trainer. Please follow me. I'd like to show you the most important place for a trainer to know. So let's wrap this up. I've given you the basics of being a trainer. I'm going to head back to Nuvema Town. One final thing. When you get to Stration City, go and meet an inventor named Fennel. She's a friend of mine from long ago, and I'm sure she'll help you on your way. Best of luck. I hope that your journeys prove to be the adventure of a lifetime. What should I buy? Potions and Pokeballs are definitely important. Thinking. Sounds like something's going on in the plaza. Let's have a little look-see. Sacred Sword, come here a sec. My name is Getsus. I'm here representing Team Plasma. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to talk to you about Pokemon Liberation. I am sure most of you believe that we humans and Pokemon are partners that have come to live together because we want and need each other. However, is that really the truth? Have you ever considered that perhaps we humans only assume that is the truth? Pokemon are subject to the selfish commands of trainers. They get pushed around when they are our partners at work. Can anyone say with confidence that there is no truth in what I'm saying? Now, ladies and gentlemen, Pokemon are different from humans. They are living beings that contain unknown potential. Living beings from whom we humans have much yet to learn. Tell me, what is our responsibility toward these wonderful beings? That's right. We must liberate the Pokemon. Then and only then will humans and Pokemon truly be equals. Everyone, I end my words here today by imploring you to consider the relationship between people and Pokemon and the correct way to proceed. We sincerely appreciate your attention. About that speech, what do you think we should do? Liberate Pokemon? That's not even possible. Your Pokemon. Just now it was saying. Slow down, you talk too fast. And what's this about Pokemon talking? That's an odd thing to say. Yes, they're talking. Oh, then you two can't hear it either. How sad. My name is N. My name is Charon, and this is Sacred Sword. We were asked to complete the Pokédex, and we just left on our journey. My main goal is to become the champion, though. The Pokédex, eh? So you're going to confine many, many Pokemon and Pokeballs for that, then. I'm a trainer, too, but I can't help but wondering. Are Pokemon really happy that way? Sacred Sword, is it? Let me hear your Pokemon's voice again. More. Let me hear the voice of your Pokémon. I never expected to hear Pokémon say such things. As long as Pokémon are confined in Pokéballs, Pokémon will never become perfect beings. I have to change the world for Pokémon because they're my friends. Huh, strange guy, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Trainers and Pokémon help each other out. Listen, I'm going on ahead. I want to battle the gym leader in the next town, Station City. Aim to battle gym leader after gym leader. The best way for a trainer to become stronger is to challenge the gym leaders in each area. Alright, might as well move on to the next area then. Sacred Sword, it's your mom. How are things? Are you and your Pokémon getting along and enjoying your journey so far? I needed to talk to you, so I called, but I'm going to hang up the receiver now. Sacred Sword, I finally caught up with you, and look how far you've come already. Professor Juniper said that you were probably headed for Station City by now. I have another present for you, Sacred Sword. Try these on. Finally! When you're wearing the running shoes, you can go anywhere in a flash. Let me read you the instructions. Hold the B, but I know how to use the running shoes. I know how to run. Found them when I was cleaning up, so it's good to clean occasionally. You ever understand that you're never really alone? You're with Pokemon, you have friends, you're always in thoughts. Alright, that's alright, enjoy your trip. Yeah, cool. So, something that I will say about other generations is thank God they let you use the running shoes at the beginning, because it is so annoying that you can't use running shoes at the start. Now that we're finally on Route 2, the other early game Pokemon that, funnily enough, actually isn't in Route 1 in these games is Purloin. Purloin is a pure dark type that, just like Patrat, also evolves early at level 20 into Liepard. Just like Patrat, it's also based on a Gen 1 Pokemon, with the Purloin line being based on the Mouth line. Unlike Cheese, I actually don't think Liepard is that bad. Definitely better than fuck-ass Watchog. First off, far more speed. 106 speed is actually competent, and for comparison, is 5 points faster than all of the elemental monkeys. Liepard also has surprisingly better offenses in both departments. 88 in both offenses isn't good, but it isn't terrible either. Unlike Cheese, I wouldn't go as far as to say you're tickling your opponent. That's what Superior does. Only things holding Liepard back are, 1, the fact that it's a mixed attacker with neither offenses leaning towards one or the other, and 2, the fact that Unova has a ton of Dark-type competition. This is pretty much because there are no bad Dark types in Unova. Crocodile, Scrafty, Zoroark, Hydreigon, Bisharp. The only one that you can argue is bad and worse than Liepard is Mandibuzz, and although it's defensive leaning and evolves very late, it's still pretty good and can be found at its final evolution really early via a static encounter. Overall, Liepard isn't that bad, it's just outclassed by a lot of its Velo Dark types, which most also just happen to be fairly early. I think I will name you Beerus.
Whis, if you don't give me my pudding back, I will be putting my nuts in your mouth. You fucking...
Now, because Route 2 is a little longer than Route 1, I might as well cover another Pokemon. This one being much more important. So remember when I was ranting about Patrat? I have moved on from talking about Patrat, but I gotta say one more thing. Keen viewers will have realized Imported Cheese's tier list had another normal-type Pokemon on it, one I actually decided not to cover when I was in Route 1. Well, if my rant about Patrat wasn't enough, there's another normal-type Pokemon in the same route that's actually not A tier like Cheese put it in. It's higher, and it's infinitely better than Patrat, and it's largely considered one of the best Pokemon in the game, period. This is Lillipup. Easily one of the greatest Route 1 Pokemon of all time, if not the greatest, alongside Starly, Shinx, Fletchling, Pichu and Sun and Moon, and Rookidee. Lillipup is a pure normal type that evolves into Herdier at level 16 and Stoutland at level 32. This Pokemon has everything going for it. First, the stats. Unlike all the Pokemon I've talked about before, Stoutland's stats are min-maxed. Minimal special attacks so that all of those stat points are going to bigger areas, and it shows. 110 physical attack and 80 speed is great for in-game playthroughs, and its defenses are good too. 85 HP and 90 in both defenses is great. If you've ever played Gen 5, you know that you will be getting hit a lot. So defensive Pokemon shine way brighter in these games than others, and Stoutland's pure normal typing really helps with that. Unfortunately, you will be taking neutral damage from everything except Ghost and Fighting, but it's way better than having like 5 common weaknesses and nothing to make up for it, like another Pokemon we've talked about before. Not like it's that big of a problem, a majority of the fighting types you'll see in Unova are all physical attacking. So it's a good thing Stoutland also gets one of the best abilities in the game, Intimidate. Stoutland also gets Sand Rush. It's not nearly as valuable since Stoutland doesn't learn Sandstorm, and it's arguably fast enough, but it's worth noting anyways. As long as you've got heals or leftovers, Sand Rush does give Stoutland some synergy with a lot of the ground types of Unova, which there are a lot of, almost all of them being incredible. Speaking of incredible, we can't talk about Stoutland without talking about the moveset. Crunch on level up, Stab Return via TM, Elemental Fangs from Move Relearner, Iron Head, Aerial Ace, Wild Charge. For a round 1 Pokemon, Stoutland gets a lot of good moves. Originally, I was going to get my second team member after the 3rd gym, so fairly late, but I realized that might not be so great of an idea, so what better Pokemon to use than Stoutland? Say hello to our newest team member, Terrence. Now, of course, because Terrence is, level 4 and I just freshly caught him, I am going to be catching a few more, just so I can get the good nature. So, I will see you guys then. Okay, so I finally got the Adamant Lillipup. Oh, hey, Sacred Sword. Hey, listen, let's have a Pokemon battle. Please? The Pokemon I caught have become a little stronger. Ready or not, here I come. Both my Pokemon and I are going to give it our all. Okay, this little one's up next, and you're gonna die. Uh-oh, am I in trouble? Aw, I couldn't win. You're a tough cookie, Sacred Sword. I'm gonna work hard on training my Pokemon so we won't lose anymore. Okay, bye-bye. Alright, we're in Stration City. While we're here, you may have noticed that there is someone protecting the gym. Are you looking for the gym leader? He's not here. He should be in the trainer's school. If you want to go challenge him, please go find him. The trainer's school is not far from this gym. Funny thing about Stration City, when I was young, right, a lot of the time I would just get lost, particularly in Stration City and later on Icarus City. I couldn't tell you why I got lost in Icarus City, but I can tell you why I got lost here. There's just so much to do in this one place that you have to do to advance the story, and for my stupid 7-year-old brain, it took me a while. But anyways, right, if you go down here, Pokemon can be found in dark places too. It's when a Dusk Ball can do the trick. Here's one for you. A Dusk Ball works well at night or in a cave. Plus, its name is excellent, the Dusk Ball, Dusk. So the first thing... Okay, well, heal my Pokemon first. And then after that, the first thing you gotta do is go to the trainer school, obviously, right? But you won't find the gym leader here. It's Sharon! When a Pokemon is poisoned, its HP decreases when it's battling. Hey, Sacred Sword, have you come looking for the gym leader? Yes. He was here talking about Pokemon types until just a few minutes ago. Maybe you walked right past him? Nope. By the way, Sacred Sword, will you have a battle with me? I want to test how important items are in battles. Let's do it. Well, let's see how effective my items are. Or maybe I should test how well I can battle without items. Anyway, this is an indoor match, so let's battle without getting too rough. I mean, the door is right there. Leading with Snivy. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So like I said, I did power grind Lillipup a little bit. Something that surprised me is that Lillipup does not take a lot of XP. The starter feels slower. Maybe I'll have to check like the experience group, because I know certain Pokemon, they take longer to evolve, depending on which experience group they're in. But Terrence took like, what, 6 encounters on Route 1 to get like to level 9 or 10? It was crazy. It's important which, okay, well, I completely skipped that dialogue because I was yapping. Anyways. Look at that, man. Yeah, like I said, Lillipup is incredible in this game. I didn't even have to use my starter for this battle. This is going to be helpful because I feel like if I did go through with my original plan to get my second Pokemon after the 3rd gym, or before the 3rd gym, I feel like I definitely would have struggled. And you'll see why when we get to the 1st gym. I see. Losing to you means that I still have a lot to learn. So learning to use items well is definitely important then. Oh, here, Sacred Sword will give you these berries. If you give a Pokemon this kind of berry to hold, it'll eat it to heal up when its HP goes down in battle. But if you give Pokemon man-made items like potions to hold, they can't use them. Well, good luck then. Alright, so next thing you have to do, I think, is look for Fennel? Oh, no, there's Silent. Yes, I'm a gym leader of this town. You are? Right, you want to challenge the gym. In that case, what was the first Pokemon you chose? Oshawott, I see. It's weak against Grass-type Pokemon. I think that you need to prepare to face that type. For example, try training your Pokemon in the Dream Yard. Please excuse me now. So like I said, yeah, we're gonna struggle a little bit, and you can probably already tell why if you've played Black and White. Anyways. You can't go upstairs now, because Fennel said she was testing something and she had a scary look on her face. Okay, so I guess you have to defeat the gym leader first before you can talk to Fennel? Alright, I guess we should just go to the Dream Yard. And while we are in the Dream Yard, next up is the pre-evolution of the least popular Pokemon of all time, the Elemental Monkey. We received based on our starter choice. Now, I should mention, although all of the Elemental Monkeys are the same stat-wise, I'm only going to cover our Elemental Monkey for now. Each of the monkeys do have different typings and movesets, which are important to mention, since you can find them later in the game. Anyways, because we picked Oshawott as our starter, the one we receive is Pansear, a pure fire type and one of the first Pokemon you'll encounter in Unova that evolves via an evolution stone. Pansear evolves to Simisear when exposed to a Fire Stone, which you can obtain right after getting the Moonstone from Lenora. After crossing the bridge, an NPC in Castelia City, right outside the gate you enter the city from, gives you a choice between the Leaf Stone, the Fire Stone, and the Water Stone. I'll talk more about the stats once we get to the other elemental monkeys later, but all you need to know is that while I do firmly believe that all of the monkeys are criminally underrated, Simisear is trash. Just like I said with Liepard though, he is usable. Definitely more usable than Superior, but Unova just has too many good Pokemon of the same types to justify using them, but it's so much more true for Simisear. Believe it or not, it's not the worst fire type in this game, but its moveset is really what makes it truly the worst elemental monkey though. All of the other monkeys have fairly flexible movesets, but you really have to stretch to give Simisear a good moveset that isn't mixed attacking. On first glance, you might think, Simisear only gets Flame Charge, so you can completely forget about a physical attacking set. He doesn't get Flare Blitz, which for some fire types is sort of understandable, but he doesn't get Fire Punch naturally. Just to add salt to the wound, Fire Punch is an egg move for Simisear. So then you look at his special moves, right? And then you see this. These are all the special attacking moves Simisear gets, excluding egg moves. 3 moves! So you're like, okay, fine, I can deal with Flame Charge. At least the coverage moves on the physical attacking side are good. And then you realize you're playing a Unova game, and then you think to yourself again, what other physical attacking fire monkey is in this game? Oh yeah, only the most broken playthrough mon in the entire series, Darmanitan. And then you throw Simisear into the box. This Pokemon is worthless. This Pokemon, for some reason, is also based on a delinquent in a biker gang. Don't ask. The elemental monkeys have some really weird lore. But because of that, I know exactly the perfect nickname for this Pokemon. Hey you! What was the first Pokemon you received? Oshawott? Really? Then Pansear could be a really big help. Your Oshawott does not do well against Grass-type Pokemon. Say, do you want this Pansear of mine? Yes. Okay, here we go. It can use Fire-type moves so that it makes it hot against Grass types. Jake Conway. Let me know in the comments if you got that reference without looking it up. I'm really curious. So you might notice that there is a tree here. We will come back to this later. This is an important, another important story mission. But first, we gotta fight the gym leader. Hello, I'm Clyde. I'm the guide for trainers challenging a Pokemon gym. We appreciate you challenging the gym. Take this to commemorate the occasion. So, funny thing about Pokemon Black and White is that I think this might be the only game where the gym leader, like, assistants or whatever, give you healing items, and all of them give you fresh water. I don't think this returned in Black 2 and White 2, but I'll have to double check. Something fun about Black and White is because these games are technically 2.5D, the gym puzzles in this game are incredibly good. They even change in Black 2 and White 2, which is really nice. Even in Black 2 and White 2, where the starting towns aren't really in, like, the game and they're in the post-game, they still went out of their way to change, this gym in particular. I don't think they changed Lenora's, but I'll have to double-check. So something that I will say is, I've said it before, but yeah, I'm probably going to struggle against the gym leader. So I think I'm gonna do a little bit of power grinding in the grass here, especially since Shelgun isn't even level 15 yet, which I think your starter should be at minimum if you're gonna fight the gym leader. Anyways, I'll see you guys when I'm done power grinding. Alright, so after a little bit of power grinding, I finally got Oshawott to level 15. Terrence is still at level 13, that's fine. But now, we can take on the gym. Welcome to the Station City Pokemon Gym. I'm Chili, I light things up with Fire-type Pokemon. I'm a Water-type specialist, and my name is Cress. Pleased to make your acquaintance. And my name is Salon, I like Grass-type Pokemon. You see, as for why the 3 of us are all here is, well, Oh, enough, listen up. The 3 of us will decide whom you'll battle. It'll be based on the type of the first Pokemon you chose. That is indeed the case. And the partner you first chose was a water type, it seems. Nothing personal, no hard feelings. Me and my grass type Pokemon will, we're gonna battle, come what may. So, if you're okay with me, I'll, put everything I've got into being, your opponent. The crit is crazy! Let's go. Might be a little bit over-prepared. Huh? Could it be? Could I only have one Pokemon left? Ah, my Pokemon! One more hit! Come on! Let's go! First gym down! Terrence wants to learn takedown. Yes, let's do that. Got some good stab. Is it over now? What a surprise! You are very strong. Seems like not even Chili or Crest could beat you. Sacred Sword received the Trio Badge from Salon. Gym badges are proof of a trainer's abilities. If you have one badge, Pokemon including traded Pokemon up to level 20 will obey you without question. We also want you to have this. So I will talk about TM workup later in the next episode, but TM83 contains workup. If you use workup, the Pokemon's attack and special attack will go up. By the way, TMs can be used as many times as you want. Anyways, unfortunately, this is where I'm going to end it. I do plan to end each part of the playthrough after defeating each gym, so this is the end of the part 1. If you're interested in the next part of the rest of the series, I will have a playlist on my channel, unless it's not out yet, in which maybe consider subscribing? Turn on the bell to get notified? A like would go a long way too. Either way, and of course, I'll see you guys next time.